So let's check this out. I honestly had heard about. I knew that Cinder fans were we watched that video about Cinder fans going after Lily. They were trying to, they were trying to at Gamer Subs about the fact that Lily was prominent on their advertisement at their booth at TwitchCon, and Cinder was nowhere to be seen. I know there was that thing. I hadn't heard about somebody from Cinder's community actually doxing Lily. So I'm Desert. I have no doubt Lily didn't do anything wrong. So that's one but that's one I want to that's one I want to see. So let's check this out.
So the Cinder drama has been a pretty crazy ride over the past couple of days, especially since the video that I released exposing a small group of Cinder fans, or pretty extreme Cinder fans, that have been going around doing some pretty horrible stuff towards a lot of VTubers, including one VTuber in particular, which we know as Shylily. Now, Shylily is obviously very involved with a lot of this kind of stuff due to her being, co-owners with Cinder for Gamer Subs, and also I'm pretty sure they were friends, etc. So things got kind of messy over a lot of the original drama which came out, but it seems like a lot of these people have now had a massive kind of hatred towards Shylily, which has become a big problem in the community, as they've been doing stuff as going far as doxing her and harassing her, and essentially just being not very,
I'm hoping he gets into this. Yes, I remember to turn off the alerts. They are off. I'm wondering how Lily got doxed. This book got me curious because she's done. I mean, I'm guessing that they probably published her name or her address or something. But I'm really wondering how this happened. No, and Chris, I fully appreciate that. Like, I am bearing in mind that there is absolutely nothing to suggest that Cinder has directed her community to do any of this. I will say that from the jump. Right now, there has been nothing that's come out that said that Cinder has told anyone in her community to go after other VTubers, to try and dox other VTubers. To the best of my knowledge, she's not involved in that in any way. They're just doing it all on their own for reasons. So I will preface that I do not think Cinder ordered the doxing or anything like that.
Decent people in general, and it's pretty terrible to see. And I made a whole video exposing this, showing all the screenshots and proof. And by the way, if there is...
Kerne? Quick and dirty, doxing is basically revealing a streamer's personal information. Their full name, their date of birth, their address, things like that. That's what doxing is. It's basically revealing a streamer's real name or location, personal stuff that can be used to basically harm them in some way, either physically, emotionally, financially, something like that. That is what doxing would be.
See. And I made a whole video exposing this, showing all the screenshots and proof. And by the way, if there is any more moderators or any more content creators that want a kind of like member list or whatever of the people that are involved in this, then I do have a whole thing that you guys can contact me about, whether it's on Twitter DMs or Discord. I've got a whole ticket system which you guys can go to if you want to go find out the information, because I've been contacted by several large kind of VTubers and VTuber mods or whatever to kind of resolve this, because a lot of them don't want them in their community either, which again is really good. It's really good to see that there has been a very positive outlook on this kind of stuff, including from a lot of the Cinder mods as well. As I mentioned, Eichmann actually made a response over on Discord in the last video that I made, essentially saying that anyone found to do this kind of stuff will be banned, and a lot of them had been banned. I don't think all of them got banned, but most of them did get banned, which again is good to see. And
yeah, I mean, this is one thing to consider is Discord communities can sometimes have far more in them than even the streamer communities. And Cinder's community in the Discord has got to be like in the thousands. Considering when she was streaming, she had like she had thousands of people in her stream. I'm pretty sure she regularly streamed to somewhere between 3,000 to 5,000 people, if I'm not mistaken. That is the stream alone. Her Discord probably has even more people in it. That's a lot of people. There's going to be, I mean, plenty of unhinged individuals in a Discord comprised of thousands of members. So that's why I said I am not like saying that Cinder asked anybody to do this. It sounds like the mods for her Discord are trying to do their best to weed out people that are doing this stuff. And so that's why I wanted to preface this. This is like I'm not taking a jab at Cinder or even her mods, honestly. And Bronco, you're right. I said that last time. If Cinder actually did speak up, like come out of hibernation and speak up to tell her community to stop this, she unfortunately would get dogpiled on the moment she poked her head out because people still haven't forgiven her. So she is in a spot where she's in a no-win situation, and her being silent and letting her mods try and handle it is the safest course of action for her if she is intending to make a comeback of some sort. And if a lot of her mods have jumped ship, she still has mods, so they're trying to do what they can. I'm just curious how bad this got.
Yeah, it's good to see that there has been an actual really good positive response to this. But obviously, you know, I also talked about the fact that Bao replied to this saying as well, you know, like doxing is not okay, things like that. And what I wasn't expecting was Shylily actually to kind of respond to this as well. And essentially this is what she says here.
Yeah, I got doxed, but it's alright. And I go, every time people dox me, they use the same 3 pictures. And then I get even more upset because they're like, she's not ugly.
Which was quite funny. Obviously, we looked through the screenshots a couple of days ago from some of the messages. They're like, oh, well, you know, she's kind of alright, you know. It was kind of funny to see them coping and trying to be like, oh, but like, you know, she's not that good. It's so funny.
I still hate her, though. It's like, every time I get doxed, I'm just like, I can't insult her. She's not fat or ugly. Oh, damn it.
No, she's this is the funny thing. Like, Lily is tiny. I'm pretty sure Lily is even smaller than me. Like, she is just this tiny, petite little doll. Because I've seen, like, obviously I've not seen her, like, full face. I've seen pictures of her at, like, TwitchCons. And, you know, she's in her, you know, Shylily outfit, but she's wearing a mask. She wears a face mask, like just about all the VTubers do when they go IRL. And she's, like, tiny. She's like doll-sized. And she's something like, I think she's like 4'10". I believe it's 4'10" is the imperial measurement, which means she's smaller than me, chat. Lily is actually smaller than me. And she's like petite and she's adorable, and yeah, I've seen pictures of her at TwitchCon and she's wearing her face, but you can see all the rest of her. You can see that the top half of her face, you know, her eyes, and you can see see her from head to toe, and she's really cute and tiny, and she's adorable.
Hello, General. Thank you so much. I wonder if those people ever realize, I know it's just a bunch of, like, mentally ill 9-year-olds, but I wonder if those people ever eventually stop to realize that they're committing actual crimes.
No, they're not known that.
One of these days, it will hit the wrong person, and they will have an actual permanent criminal offense on their records. Imagine
that's when it's gonna hit them. That is when it's gonna hit them. When they actually get slapped with a criminal charge, that's the only time it's going to actually hit them that, oh shit, I done fucked up. That because we're living in an age, especially with the younger generations, they don't get punished. Like the younger generations, and I'm referring to like high school age kids. They don't get punished anymore. You know, for especially with, you know, people in my chat that are of the, I will be charitable and say the older generations. You guys remember that if you fucked up, you got your asses kicked. It was not like you fucked up and it's just like, oh, that's just the children trying to express themselves. No, you fucked up, you caught an ass beat. And so you grew up to understand you don't fuck around like this. The current youthful generations that are like in high school, they don't get punished for anything. So they don't fear punishment. So they just keep fucking around because so often they receive no punishment for it. And it isn't until the cuffs come out in a non-kinky way that they realize, oh shit, this is actually serious. I'm actually going to suffer consequences for the first time in my life. And that's when they break down and start blubbering like babies. But until that happens, they don't care because they don't think they will get punished. The concept of punishment is alien to them. And that's why we have a generation of fuckerats. Is that, this is why we have a generation of just savages, is because they don't receive any punishments. Like that video we saw about all those kids destroying their Chromebooks. That doesn't belong to them. That belongs to the school. They do that because they don't receive punishment, so they don't fucking care. And that is whom Lily is probably referring to. It's like people of this generation that don't receive punishment, so they don't care. They're just like, I can do anything I want. And it's not until the bracelets get put on them and they get hauled in front of a judge that they finally realize, oh shit.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
That's when it all comes down.
Ruining your life because you don't like an anime girl? Like what? Like, do those people at some point ever realize? Like, I'm not saying it's okay to do it to me, but they're lucky I CBA. But one of these days, they will f with the wrong person, and they'll be one of those many people who have a permanent criminal record that at every job interview, at every job application, they're going to have to take the checkbox of, are you a convicted felon? And they're going to have to say yes. And no matter the explanation, that is going to get rid of 90% of all of their openings. Like, do these people ever realize? I'm genuinely wondering, like, do they understand that faking screenshots, doxing, and all of that stuff is actually a criminal offense?
But any Sunday is well spent if it's with our...
Which, yeah, that's like one of the
And they
main
don't know.
kind of responses.
They know. But, they do know it is a, quote, criminal offense. They just don't care because they don't think it's not gonna happen to me. The criminal offense is what happens to the older people or people that are on the opposite side of my ideological spectrum. They don't think it's gonna happen to them. They think they're invulnerable and it won't happen because they don't get punished as kids, so they don't fucking care. And yeah, Lily, like he obviously had the video playing at like 2 times speed. He did. But yeah, this is what happens when you have a generation of people that don't get punished, that they can do whatever they want.
That she had in this whole 20-minute clip is the fact that, what they are doing is a criminal offense, and we obviously know that is the fact, and that's one of the reasons why I brought it to light in the first place. And obviously, it's really surreal to see Shylily actually responding to this kind of stuff that I did bring out. But, it's great to see that she has actually been handling it pretty well. She seems to be quite happy and in good spirits, and maybe that is coming back from, I think it was TwitchCon or whatever. So again, it's good to see that this hasn't actually affected her at all in any way. And as she says there, if they messed with the wrong person, then they could be finding themselves in a pretty big trouble, and they would find themselves not even being able to get a job due to the fact of them having a criminal record of doxing someone. But obviously that's implying that she probably won't be taking any action against them, which again, that's obviously her own kind of decision in that. And I feel like maybe there isn't that much stuff behind it in terms of actually even bothering to take any action, because again, it is just, as she says, it's the same pictures that people use over and over again, which is obviously extremely lame. And I feel like it's just one of those things where she probably doesn't want to go through the whole kind of system of taking them to court and things like that, which would be
and I don't doubt it, because honestly, I could see for Lily it being a waste of her time, particularly because according to what Lily was saying, is that when they tried to dox her, it's pictures that have already been used to dox her before. So she's just like, who fucking cares? These pictures are already out there. It's honestly, at this stage, it's not even really like quote unquote doxing her if the pictures have already been put out there. It's just like, okay, if the pictures have come back. It's not like they weren't out there in the first place. And it's honestly more of a hassle for her to try and take legal action because the amount of money that she would have to spend to basically track down the individuals who did the doxing. She'd have to pay lawyers to subpoena, I'm guessing either Discord or Twitch, wherever the doxing occurred. They'd have to issue subpoenas to get the records of the person's identity in order to track them down and serve them with papers and then get them in court. And that's a lot of money that Lily would have to spend. Why bother? Why bother? Well, no, it wouldn't most likely be Twitch moves because I doubt that they did this on Twitch. They probably did it on Discord or on Twitter. Okay, you meant Discord. Yeah. Yes, and it would most likely be Discord if they did it on Discord. And it's like a shit ton of money that she would have to spend on lawyers. That would be useless. Realistically speaking, it would be a waste of fucking money for her to do this. There'd be very little gain. So she gets some fucking punk in front of a judge, and the judge, okay, she's talking about oh yeah, you'll get a felony on your record, and it'll make you tough to get a job. The truth about it is that if she was to pull them into court, it wouldn't be a felony. Yeah, on the books it might be a felony. It would get dropped down to some other misdemeanor charge. If that, it would very likely be either dismissed or it would be a small fine that would not impact the person. And Lily would have spent all this money trying to get this done for no gain. Absolutely no gain. So yeah, I it's not surprising that she's not going to do anything about it because there's no benefit to her.
Absolutely crazy. And I think, just for a couple of fans, I think the shock of them being banned from a lot of VTuber communities, the shock of them being exposed for actually being called out for doing a lot of this stuff is probably enough to deter them from doing that. And if it isn't, then obviously if they continue to do it, then they will probably mess with the wrong person one day and find themselves not being able to get a job wherever they live.
We'll have SCPs at some point again. Don't worry. CBA certified. You're like, how come you're a convicted felon? I didn't like the one person on the internet, and I was too chronically offline unemployed to just leave it be.
Basically,
there was this other anime girl that I liked more than this anime girl. And when the other anime girl was exposed, I just decided I'd become a criminal. I be charged with some criminal offenses because I didn't like that.
Honestly, you could take that, what she just said. Why are you such an asshole? Well, there was an anime girl that I didn't like because I liked this other anime girl more. And so, I wanted to cause shit for this other anime girl because I like this anime girl more because she's my queen. So, yeah. You can literally just put all of that on Twitter and just embarrass them to high heaven. And that would actually probably be more effective than any criminal charges. For people like this, humiliating them in the online space is actually more effective than court. Realistically speaking. And you know what, Nux Guy, you're right. It's these are also people who, if they do not receive an instantaneous response, they forget about it. If Lily didn't clap back at him immediately, it's going to be forgotten about. That's why, the latest internet traumas usually last, 2-3 days, and then they're fucking forgotten. Unless it's something, seriously egregious. People move on. It's the same thing with, real life drama. Not even in the online space. All the shit that goes down in real life, that's why this shit only lasts, maybe a week. The latest, holy shit moments that happen in life happen, you'll hear about them for about a week, and then they're forgotten about. That's like everything these days. Society in general is it works off of an instantaneous response, and if the minute that instantaneous response dies down, it's forgotten about, and let's move on to the next thing. That's just how modern society works. If you don't get that instant gratification, fuck it. We'll move on to the next thing because there'll be something else that I can get the instant gratification from. That's what this society is. It's all about instant gratification.
Like, what? That's crazy. Actual mental illness.
It is crazy how, some people would go this far for a person, because this isn't just like, some random, hatred that is built up over time due to some, somewhat, coherent reason. It's just because they like Cinder, and it's kind of crazy how far people will go with this. Obviously, as I said, it's not every single Cinder fan out there in the entire planet. It's a small.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's not Cinder's community at large, not Cinder herself. It's very select individuals that, yeah, Jack, they're simps. These are the kinds of people I've taught, and I've mentioned these before. These are the kinds of people that they do this shit, and then when Cinder finally does make her return, whenever that might be, they're gonna try and message her and say, "See, my queen, I defended you. I doxed Lily because Gamer Subs tried to put her before you, and they took you off of their promo material, and they put her prominent, and so I defended you. I doxed Lily. I humiliated Lily. Will you fuck me now?" That's the mentality of these specific individuals that are pulling this shit. The simps for Cinder is that these are the people that because she's been in public, they can see what she looks like they've seen what she looks like in real life. They are simping so hard for her because they want to fuck her. It's very basic. It is. But for these specific individuals that we are discussing today, not their community as a whole, but these specific individuals, that's why they do it. They're doing the notice me, Oshi. Won't you have sex with me now because I was so devoted to you? Realistically, that's what we're talking about right here.
Group of them, but these people have such a deep kind of, I guess, love for Cinder that they're going this far to do this kind of stuff.
Imagine in 7 years from now when I have a job interview explaining
Currently
that.
looking at some good card binders for my future V cards. I had ordered one, but it was who, so I cancelled. Will there be more of-
So yeah.
There was this anime girl on the internet. Thank you, but I think we're gonna go with the other candidates. Like, Jesus. Dude, yeah, I wonder if some of these people realize that one of these days they will f with the wrong person. And I'm not sure they realize that not only are those criminal charges, but many of these cases have multiple years in jail. Imagine going to jail
again, Lily. I know Lily lives in Germany. Well, Lily does I know Lily is German. She still lives in Germany, right? Because chances are the person who doxed him lives in the U.S. And realistically speaking, if this case went in front of a judge in the U.S., it would either get dismissed or it would get pled down to, oh, she lives in the Netherlands. Okay, I couldn't remember where she resided, and I didn't want to, So she lives in the Netherlands. The person who did this probably lives in the U.S. Just statistically speaking, most of them, live in the U.S. And it would get pled down to nothing. It would be, suspended sentence, or it would just get dropped. Jack, I thought that Lily was German. So that's why I thought she lived in Germany. I guess she lives in the Netherlands, though, and I was mistaken about that. So,
Complaining to your cellmate, what the f you in for? Bro, you are not gonna have a great time in the shower being a little soy like that and just saying, I got upset over an anime girl on the internet.
I know she's German. I know she's German, but because she's German, I thought she lived in Germany. I was not aware she lived in the Netherlands. That's why. I knew she was German because I've seen the clips of her when she's been with another streamer and she says I'm German. I thought she still lived in Germany, but I guess not.
A great shower
Like
times.
I see on your CV that you're convicted for hating an anime girl. We believe you're overqualified for this position. I'm so sorry.
I'm never going back. The food sucks. I keep hearing that. Yeah. People say the food is awful. I feel like it's funny because like the
But yeah, obviously, wait, I
only
think
thing
she
I
goes
ever
into
hear
it.
about jail is the food sucks.
Yeah, no, she obviously goes on to talk a little bit further about, you know, the criminal stuff behind it. And essentially, she explains why she knows so much about a lot of the laws and things that goes on, because she explains the fact that she is in Germany, so she has specific laws, you know, about her, which is to do with doxing. And people obviously try to make up these different kind of things, saying, oh, but this person's over in the US, or this person's somewhere else, so the laws are different. No, it actually depends on the person that is in whatever country, you know, the victim themselves, whatever country they're in, they follow their laws, even if the person is in the US. And apparently, you know, the countries kind of work together to kind of figure out what is legal, what is illegal in their countries, as that is the protection that they've got. And obviously, Germany has pretty strict laws whenever it comes to keeping people safe from doxing and this kind of stuff, which obviously is great. And obviously, that provides a lot of protection.
But yeah, Pocket Sand, that's where I was gonna go. She is in Europe. She is in the EU, Germany or Netherlands, where I guess she's currently residing in the Netherlands. And if she was to file a report and the offender was in the US, good fucking luck getting extradition. You know, the criminal justice system all around the world are pretty fucking busy right now and don't really and I realize they don't take it lightly, but I highly doubt they're going to go through the effort of trying to facilitate an extradition order and warrant for someone across the world for doxing a VTuber. Realistically, I understand that they take it very seriously, and if the person who did the doxing resided, say, like in the EU, okay, I could see that happening, you know, where they could do extradition because it's much more localized. But if it's across the world, in another country across the world, they're not gonna try and extradite. Even though they take doxing seriously, they won't try and extradite. Because there's just too much shit going on right now for law enforcement around the world to fuck around with this shit. Flat out. Especially given this particular case where it's photos that may have already seen the light of day and are just resurfacing. It's nothing would happen with it.
For Lily as well, if anything worse was to happen. And obviously, yeah, she goes on to explain that she knows a lot about law because she used to study it or something like that, similar to kind of laws and things. So she's very well read up on that kind of stuff, which obviously is great. And it's great with handling this kind of thing and knowing whether you need to take action or not. And obviously, in this case, it seems like she doesn't want to, which I think is totally acceptable. And as I said, this is pretty much the main response from Shylily, which I think is actually a really decent one. Obviously, is putting down a lot of the people that have been doing this kind of stuff and saying, hey man, you're gonna get a criminal offense if you keep doing this. And obviously, if you guys are watching, like, you know, if one of these people are watching this, you will get a criminal offense if you continue to do this and you continue to do this kind of stuff. It is just better to leave it now. It is just better to go and keep watching your Cinder clips. And
they're not gonna care. That's the thing. The people are not gonna care. You know what these people actually will care about? These people would actually care, as ironic as it sounds, if Cinder messaged them after having done this, if she messaged them and said, I hate you, I hate the fact that you are in my community, you absolutely disgust me, I want to have nothing to do with you, and as soon as that happens, the mods kick the person out of the community. That will hurt them more than any criminal case. With these types of individuals, that is how you hurt them. Is to actually have the streamer that they idolize so much they're willing to attack other people with doxing, is for Cinder to actually say, I hate that you have done this. I hate that you are part of my community that did this. I don't want you being a part of this community. I don't want to ever hear from you again. And then the mods boot the person out. That's going to be more effective than any court case. it is possible, Pocket Sand, and that's probably why Cinder has not said everything. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Cinder should do that. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that Cinder needs to, jump into her Discord and say this to these people that may still be around. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this is something that would be more effective to these people psychologically and mentally than any court case. That is what I'm saying. I'm not suggesting that it should be done because yes, it could end up basically causing targeted harassment of Cinder by these people, and these people could try and dox Cinder. So that's why I'm not saying that she should do that, but I'm saying that is, effectively speaking, the kind of thing that would actually affect them more so than a court case would. That's what I'm saying. And by the way, Firebird Rob, thank you for the follow as well.
Yeah, just that's pretty much it. Just keep quiet, don't speak up too loudly about this kind of stuff, because again, it's one of these things where you will get a criminal offense if you do this kind of stuff, and it's some pretty horrible behavior that you have been doing over the past month or months. It's been multiple months. That amount of evidence and that amount of screenshots I brought up was
I would say no. A complaint to Twitch and or YouTube about our community management from Lily not have merit because her community management has been actively responding to this. So if the community management just sat back and did nothing while people did this, yes, in that case, possibly. But her community management actively responded immediately. So there's no need to do it because it's not like they're just sitting on their laurels, just saying, yeah, they can say whatever they want. We don't control them. No, they actually leapt into action and they booted them out of the community immediately. So there would be no cause for Lily to go to Twitch or YouTube about it.
Over the course of weeks, if not months, and it's been crazy how much this has evolved and how much this has actually gone into, because again, whenever I first joined that server, I didn't think anything that crazy was going to go down. I didn't think it was going to be that crazy. I thought they were just going to talk about Cinder a little bit and then maybe the server would die off, but it turned into this whole festering thing of like just Shylily hate against literally any single VTuber, any single YouTuber who talks bad about Cinder, and it's gotten pretty crazy. I think there's also a list I saw on Twitter somewhere. There's a list like almost like the Death Note, where they've just like wrote down the names of everybody who's talked bad about Cinder ever. I'm like number 6 on that list, which again is pretty nice. I was above like Asmongold, so I'm pretty honored to be above Asmongold on that list. But it seems like they will continue to cope, and hopefully they do just go and find something else to do at this point, because it's just horrible, and kind of targeting someone like this is horrible, and they should just find something better to do. But that's pretty much the final response from Shylily there. Obviously, I doubt I'm going to make any more videos on this group. Obviously, I said that the last 2 times, but obviously this is the, response from the person themselves. I had to cover this because, again, I thought it was very vital to kind of wrapping this all up. But it seems like this is pretty much wrapped up now, and, there shouldn't be any more problems as long as these people don't try to make a fool of themselves even further. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code KASA, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, go buy some Shylily stuff, because they got a ton of really nice Shylily stuff over there too. So I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like I wanted to watch that because I had not heard about Lily getting doxxed. So I was kind of curious what the hell happened. Just minute of saying that a couple citizens were trying to take advantage of. Okay, Zeb. It's like I kind of figured it was something. I wasn't sure about it, but based on what he was starting to talk about, I figured it. I quickly ascertained that it wasn't anything big, based on the way he was starting to talk about it. But I did want to find out. I did want to hear about it because you know what? I'm in this space. I have a community. You guys are very aware that if I catch fucking any of you going after someone, you get booted in a heartbeat. And that's why I wanted to watch it, because I'm in the space. I'm a VTuber. I have a pretty nicely sized community, and that's why I wanted to see what was going on here. Because I look at videos like this as sort of cautionary tales and sort of as it helps me as a guideline for things to avoid with my streaming and my community. And obviously having a community that might go after another content creator or another streamer, that's one of them. That's why I always tell you guys, never go, even if I'm raging at someone. Why I still maintain that I do not want anybody to go after another person. I do not want my community brigading anyone. Because if that happens, my high heels will be so far up your ass, you're going to be able to tell how long the stiletto is by tongue. Okay? No, you cannot go after Johnny, Mike. Johnny is preparing his nether regions for prison right now. He doesn't need us doing anything.